I'll take us into movement. And then Andrea will take us into our final postures. So take it away, Andrea.
Yeah, so good morning, everybody. We're going to begin with a chest opener. So if you have that rolled up towel or rolled up cover, just something tight. And I know we've all done it. Once rolled up, it should be, I don't know, about 10 centimeters wide, maybe a little bit less on the edge. It would be the center of your towel should be about 10 centimeters or 2 to 3 inches, whatever you have there. So that's how we're going to start off, putting some space in between the vertebrae. So when you come on your mat with your towel, with your cushion, we're going to come down to the elbows. And we're going to place that cushion right at the bottom line of the shoulder blades so that the shoulder blades are really above the towel. They're not laying on the towel. So once you have that, once you feel like you have the shoulder blades, the bottom of the shoulder blades touching the towel but not on the towel, and from here we can take the head in the hands. Just pausing here, letting the weight begin releasing towards that cushion, softening the shoulders, letting the weight of the head fall completely into the hands. And as the hands support the head, the neck begins to lengthen, becoming a little bit heavier onto the cushion. And then from here, coming down, letting the head come down just a little bit. So maybe coming down a couple of centimeters, and then pausing again, finding the breath again. So it can be quite strong, it can be a strong sensation, especially if we've been working all week. Taking another breath, just working with your time, with your breath, until you feel the fingers on the floor, and then just leaving the head on the floor. You can bring the arms down to the lower ribs, or you can leave the hands beside the body with the palms facing up, whichever is good for you. If you feel like the chin is really jutting up towards the sky and the neck is crooked, then here you could add a little bit more support to the head. So you could bring another little cushion or even a block underneath the head so that the neck stays long. And so once you have that, this first part of this exercise is just, as we say, to undo everything we've been doing. It's just a counter shape to the shape that we've been taking all week of punching the shoulders forward, working with the arms in front of the body for lots of us. And here we just give the body an opportunity to relax in the opposite shape. And so this first part of this exercise is just releasing, closing the eyes, finding the breath here, and arriving in this space for the practice today. We're going to leave the feet on the floor with the knees bent, but with the feet and the knees at hip width apart. And so this part's really important because it does affect how the spine comes to lay on the floor. You can turn the toes slightly in and the heels slightly out, and that'll help support the legs so that they can just kind of here a little bit. Enjoying the sensation of the breath traveling through the body. If you'd like here to bring an intention or dedication to your practice by thinking of that now. And then bringing the attention back to the breath, not necessarily trying to change it, but just noticing how, as we settle, how it begins also settling, how it changes itself. Breath becomes a little bit longer, a little bit deeper, a little bit slower. And again, then bringing some attention to the physical breath, how it travels through the lungs, opening the ribs, pushing into that cushion with the 3D work of the rib cage. Also feeling how the breath comes all the way in, all the way up to the collarbones. Maybe you can feel the breath expanding the collarbones and even releasing the shoulders. Taking a couple of deeper breaths here. Each exhale, softening the shoulders a little bit more. And then from here, just checking again that the feet and the knees have stayed at hip width apart. We're just going to softly leave them at the feet and knees at hip width apart, letting the knees travel slightly over towards the left. Maybe cutting the space between the floor and the knees in half. And then pausing here. So we're not trying to go far. We're just going to pause, beginning finding space in the rest of the spine. And as we move, just notice how that small movement creates maybe a little bit of tension in the opposite side of the spine or the shoulders, softening there. And then seeing if we can give into the point where we feel the most pressure on the cushion. So softening into that left side of the cushion. Traveling slowly back to the center with the knees. Pausing here, maybe picking up the pelvis and just settling it back onto the floor because it becomes a little bit uneven as we move. And then letting the knees come over towards the right. And again, not too far, maybe halfway between the floor and the 90 degrees. And then pausing here. Same thing. Seeing if we can let the shoulders be heavier, sinking into the cushion a little bit more. And then finding the breath. From here, moving the knees back to center. And maybe picking up the pelvis and just softening it back to the floor. And then from here, letting the knees come over towards the left again, but this time letting them come as far as you'd like. So you can go a little bit, you can come to that halfway point, you can let the knees come over further. Wherever that is, just letting the legs become heavy, giving into that side of the cushion, but also just softening the opposite shoulder, just softening the right shoulder, not trying to push it down or bringing it up, just letting it soften. The travel of the breath here, how it changes with this small twist. as you're ready, bringing the knees slowly, slowly back to center. As we come back to center, you might adjust the feet. They might have moved. You might pick up the hips again, softening them back down to the floor, just feeling yourself even here again. And then letting the knees travel softly over towards the right. And again, this side will be different. So maybe you go not as far, or maybe you go further. Just being observant of how things happen here. Pausing at your furthest point, softening the shoulders, softening across the shoulder blades. And as you're ready, bringing the knees back to center. One more time here. Bring the feet into the floor, readjusting the hips, bringing the feet again to hip width apart. And then from here, we're going to stretch the feet out to the end of the mat. So bringing the legs long on the floor. And now we're going to bring the hands behind the head. We're going to interlace the fingers behind the head. So the elbows are pointing out towards the edges of the mat. Interlacing the fingers, stretching the feet to the end of the mat. And very, very softly, we're just going to, all we're going to do, we're going to flex the feet. So we're going to pull the toes back towards the knees. And we're going to bring the head up just until we can see the end of the toes. So it's a very small movement. We're not coming up very far at all. Seeing the toes, and then letting the head come back down to the floor. Releasing completely, the elbows come back down to the floor. And then coordinating this movement with a breath. So bringing the head up again, just looking at the toes. And then with the exhale, letting the head come back down to the floor. 3 more times with your breath. Maybe a little bit slower each time as the breath slows. Looking up, and really here, less is more. So just taking the time. Let the neck be long. The movement be slow and complete. And when you've finished with those 3 rounds, you can leave the head on the floor again. Bring the feet back to the floor, so walking the heels towards the buttocks. Here, we're going to leave your feet and the knees at hip width apart. We're going to begin pushing into the floor. And as we use the legs, we're going to bring the hips up towards the sky. So we're going to come into a little bridge here. We're going to reach the hands down towards the heels. And as we push the hips up towards the sky, then we're going to bring everything's going to come off of the cushions. You can take the cushion out now, leaving it to the side, and then reaching the hands down, creating a bigger bridge. So reaching the fingertips down towards the heels, and walking the upper arms in towards the body, pushing into the upper arms, opening the chest, and taking a couple of breaths here. Nice little bridge. And as you stay here, feeling the breath here. So feeling the breath travel through that space where the cushion was. And then opening the arms, and then letting the body just come back down to the floor slowly, steadily, all together. Very nice. From here, now we're going to bring the knees into the chest. So giving ourselves a big hug here. Bring the knees in. You can walk slightly from side to side of the pelvis. And we'll leave the left foot on the floor. We're going to reach the right foot up towards the sky, then interlacing the fingers behind the right thigh, behind the hamstring. And we're just going to get a nice little stretch here, lengthening that leg by pushing the right heel up and pushing the right thigh towards the hands. So creating a little bit of resistance, creating a little bit of length, getting a first nice long stretch here. And lengthening that leg. And then we're going to bend that leg, the right leg, so we're going to bring the right ankle above the left knee. We're going to come to our little figure 4 position here. And then we'll come into our eye of the needle posture. So you can interlace the fingers behind the left thigh in front of the left shin, whichever works for you. And then just hugging that left leg in towards the body. You can keep the feet flexed here. Finding the point where feel something good in that right hip. Connecting with the breath for the stretch. And then with the next exhale, letting the left foot come back to the floor. So keeping so in our little twist here with the right foot, the left knee over towards the floor. Pausing here, just letting the opposite shoulder be soft. And then as you're ready, coming back to center and bringing the right foot next to the left foot. Let's just stretch the feet out to the end of the mat, coming to a little mini shavasana here and just feeling the work that's happened on that right side. So work through the right side of the spine, through the right hip, the right buttock, the right leg. And then beginning again here. So we'll begin all over again by bringing the knees into the chest, giving yourself a hug to begin. You can rock from side to side on the pelvis if you'd like. And then from this time, leaving the right foot on the floor, just releasing the right foot to the floor, the knees still bent, stretching the left foot up towards the sky, interlacing the fingers behind the left thigh, and then finding your lengthening stretch here. So we're not going for the gold, we're just lengthening that leg by pushing the left heel up, feeling the left hip, the left side of the pelvis firmly on the floor. And then pushing away from the body towards the hands with the back of the left leg. Taking another breath here, lengthening a little bit more through that leg. And then releasing. So we're going to cross that left ankle above the right knee this time. So finding our figure 4 here. And then from here, interlacing the fingers behind the thigh, in front of the shin, and hugging that leg in towards the body. So finding your hip stretch here, and just taking the time to sink into it. So this is one of those stretches that takes a little bit. So we start somewhere, we end up somewhere different, just giving the body time to begin releasing. We're just getting started today. Taking another breath here. Then releasing that right foot to the floor, keeping the legs crossed just as they are, picking up the hips and just scooting them over towards the left slightly. Opening the arms to the sides of the body, and then just letting the left foot come over towards the floor. So the left foot, the right knee are coming towards the floor. Just pausing here for a nice little stretch, letting everything be heavy. Feeling this twist, feeling how the twists affect the path of the breath. Feeling how the twists affect the shape of the space of the organs. Taking one deeper breath here, following that breath. And then coming back to center with the legs and crossing that left leg and reaching both feet out to the edges of the mat, mini shavasana, just feeling everything now that's been done on both sides of the body. And then eventually bringing the knees into the chest one more time, rocking from side to side. You can rock forward and back also if you'd like, and either way you'd like to do it, just coming up to have a seat. We'll come to have a seat in just a simple seated position. You can sit on the edge of your towel or even on a block if you'd like, just to make it easier. Make it easier to come out of the low back, become taller here. And from here, I'm going to begin by warming up the shoulders and the wrists by stretching the arms out beside the body, pointing the fingers up and pushing the wrists, pushing out through the wrists. So it's really an activating posture, pushing the fingers up, holding here, keeping, see if we can just let the shoulders soften down, and then pointing the fingers down to the floor, a little bit easier. Extending, pressing the fingers up, pressing out through the palms, the base of the palms. Your breath, pointing the fingers down. Inhaling up, and exhaling the fingers down, and up, and down. And just one more time, up, and down. So releasing the hands here to the knees. We're going to get just a little bit of a neck and shoulder stretch. So bringing that right hand down right beside the body, and we're going to bring the left hand around to grab the right wrist. So we're going to, with that left hand, pull the right wrist down towards the floor. We're going to stay nice and tall and in the center here. And then we're going to let the left ear come over to listen to the left shoulder. You can judge the stretch that you bring here by more or less pull on the wrist. Just pausing, it's just work with gravity, not really trying to stretch more. It's enough to just let the head come down. And then coming back to center. So changing sides, just reaching the left hand down toward the floor, taking the right hand around the back, grabbing the left wrist or about there, pulling it straight down, pulling that left wrist straight down. And then from here, letting the right ear come over towards the right shoulder. It doesn't have to go a long way to feel a lot here. So just really listening to how far is enough for you. You're ready, then releasing, coming back to center. Inhaling, opening the arms. Now we're going to find eagle arms. Right arm on the bottom, left arm sits on the top. You can bring the backs of the hands together, the palms together. Bring the elbows up as far as they'll go. Pushing the forearms away from the face as far as they'll go. And beginning feeling that stretch through the shoulders. We can add here a little twist. Starting from the lower tummy, so bringing the lower tummy in, activating the core. Looking over towards the left and letting the arms come over towards the left. Again, we don't have to go far to feel the effects of a little bit different sensation here. Taking one more breath. And then coming out like we came in. So coming back to center first. Releasing the arms. Let's just release the arms to the knees. Making a couple of circles up, back, and around. Scrunching the shoulders up to the ears. And then bringing the shoulder blades back down the back. Settling here. Inhaling, opening the arms again, wide as they'll go, and bringing the left arm underneath the right this time. And again, pushing the elbows up as high as they'll go. Pushing the forearms so far away from the face as they'll come. Pausing here first. Then activating the core, and then bringing the arms over towards the right slightly. So adding a little twist here, a little bit more stretch in the shoulders. Keeping the breath steady. And then looking back to center, bringing the arms back to center. Releasing the arms in one more time, making a couple of shoulder circles up, back, and around. And then let's move into tabletop from here. So coming to tabletop, we won't be here long. Maybe you don't need the cushion for the knees. As we come into tabletop, just we'll bring a little bit more lateral, a little lateral stretch here. So we're going to push the hips over towards the left as far as they'll go. And then we're going to see if we can look towards the hips. So we're going to scrunch that left side of the belly all in and together. Coming back through center, pushing the hips out towards the right, looking over towards the right, scrunching the right side of the body. And then coming back to center. From here, we're going to tuck the toes. We're going to pick up the knees. We're going to activate the core. Working from the core here, as we pick up the knees, we're going to push the hips back towards the heels. And then lengthening the legs, coming up to the tiptoes, looking towards the toes. And then exhaling, letting the left heel come down to the floor, bending the right knee deeply. So beginning here in down dog. If we can release the head and the neck completely, just letting it release, letting it be soft. Inhaling, bringing the left heel back up. Exhaling the right heel down towards the floor. Inhaling, both heels back up. We're going to walk the feet wide off of the mat first. We're going to walk the hands out to the edges of the mat and then exhaling the heels down to the floor, wide-legged down dog. So creating some space here in the low back, the sacrum, letting the head release again. And then walking the feet back in, walking the hands back in, pushing the heels down towards the floor, but keeping the knees bent. And whenever you're ready here, walking to the front of the mat, leaving the feet about hip width apart, and then inhaling, finding a super long, flat spine. Bending the knees, exhaling, releasing forward. Bending the knees, inhaling, reaching all the way up towards the sky. And exhaling, bringing the hands to the chest. We're just closing the eyes here as we come to stand, feeling the standing posture. And DiDi's gonna take it from here.
Thank you. That's a perfect place for us to begin. Half Surya Namaskar movement. But before we do, if you have two blocks, put one at either end so they're easily accessible. And if you are trying to protect your knees, do have your cushion handy because we will do a few lunges eventually. All right, let's start off with our half Surya Namaskar. So, feet are underneath your hips, yes? If you'd like to try, bring your toes in towards one another, heels slightly apart. You decide where you feel like you have the most connection. Bring your belly button in slightly towards your spine. Just a little bit. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up, long back. Exhale, fold. Inhale with a long spine, bring your arms all the way up and over, pushing out through your ring fingers. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bring it all the way up, grounding through the inside or the middle of your heels, the big toe joint and the baby toe joint. Exhale, hands to heart center. Inhale, upward salute. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway up. Yeah, bring your shoulder blades in towards one another. Exhale, fold. Inhale, long spine all the way up, reaching up, grounding down. Exhale, hands to heart center. Two more. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway up, hands on your shins or your thighs. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Good. One more. Upward salute. Exhale, fold. Nice, Karen. Halfway up. Beautiful long backs. Exhale, fold. And let's stay here. Feel the lengthening in the back of your body. Feel the breath come in and out. Yeah, Laura. You can move from side to side if you like to. It looks like you'd like to, Laura. That's it. Torso can move side to side. Maybe you have a little bit of stuff in there that you'd still like to attend to. Good. Now come back to center and stillness. Rise halfway up. Lengthen it out. Feel your chest open. Feel the breath widen your collarbones as Andrea instructed us. And then come back down, forward fold. Keep your right foot where it's at. Bring your left foot back. Bring your left knee down to the floor. Low lunge. Open your chest. Look at your right ankle and have it under your right knee. My fingertips need to be tented. You might not need to, but it helps to open my chest. Back toe can be turned under, or you can be pressing the top of your foot into the mat. Different sensations. Come back to your breath. Wherever you're at now, place both of your hands on the floor. Turn your back toes under to lengthen that back leg. Come into a plank. Activate your core. Exhale into a downward facing dog. Come back to your nice, soft, complete breath. If you have Ujjayi breath in your practice, this is a nice place to begin implementing it. Keep your right foot where it's at. On your exhale, bring your left foot forward. Right knee comes down. And again, we're in a low lunge on the left side. Opening your chest. But instead of bringing and looking up at your screen, try to look down at your foot, but bring the back of your head towards your ceiling or sky if you're Andrea. Complete breath cycles. And we're going to lengthen that back leg. Pick it up, bring it to the front, come halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Bringing it into a flow. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway up, long spine. Exhale, plant the hands, right foot stays, left foot comes back, right, left knee comes down, opening it up. This time, bring your arms up, lean back as far as is comfortable, and come back to your breath. Yeah, that's right. Everybody knows not to be on their kneecap, but to be a little bit in front of it. Bring your hands down with your exhale. Lengthen the back leg. Come into your plank. You can have long legs, or you can join me, bringing your knees down. Activate your core by bringing your belly to your spine, and then all the way down to the floor. Elbows in towards your ribs. Good. Bring your fingertips out to the side. Point your toes. Push into your toes. Elbows towards the ceiling. Inhale, bring your torso and head off of the floor. If you're feeling pressure in your lower back, gently push your pubic bone into your mat. Try to continue your soft, complete breath. And then bring it back down to the floor, hands underneath your shoulders. Let everything relax for one breath cycle. Lift your belly button to your spine first. Push your belly up into the air. Come up into your plank. Exhale into your downward facing dog. Inhale together. Exhale, bring the right foot forward. Oops, no, left foot forward, right knee down. I'm trying to do Andrea's style. Inhale, bring your arms up. And then hands come down to the floor, lengthen the back leg, step it forward. Halfway up with a long back. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up, reach up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Same thing, but we'll keep the legs. No, we're actually going to do the same thing with a twist. Right leg comes back first. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, plant the hands. Right foot comes back. Right knee comes down. Inhale, bring your arms up. Reach it out. And then bring your hands to your heart, twisting your torso to the left side. Back to center. Frame the front foot, step it back into your plank. Activate your core, bring it all the way down to the floor. Fingertips come out to the side, elbows up, inhale, torso and head up. And on your next exhale, twist your neck, look over to the right side, right elbow, back to center. Exhale, look at your left elbow. Back to center. Bring your body back down. Release everything for one breath cycle. Hands underneath your shoulders, elbows in towards your ribs. Plank. To exhale, downward facing dog. Looking between your hands, bring your right foot there, bring your left knee down. All the way up with your hands, a little bit of a back bend. Hands come to your heart, keep a nice open chest, and then twist your torso towards the right side. Yeah. That's it. Can you bring your right shoulder back a little bit more? Back to center. Frame your front foot, lengthen the back leg, pick it up. Pick your foot up, bring it to the front, halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands to heart center. Bringing it in to a long-legged lunge, high lunge. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, fold, frame the feet. Bring the left foot back, but stay on your toes. Right heel is under your right knee. Bring your body all the way up. Maybe you have a little bit of a back bend. Good. Yeah, stay committed to the front knee bend. Feel the steadiness of your breath. On your next exhale, bring everything back down, frame that front foot, step it into your plank. Come with me on your knees if you're building strength in your shoulders. Lengthen your head away from your body. Exhale all the way down to the floor. And this time, keep your hands where they're at. Inhale up to your cobra. Exhale down. Pushing your hands into the floor. Come up into your plank. Turn your toes under. Exhale into your downward facing dog. Take a great big inhale together. And on your exhale, bring your left foot forward, keeping the right leg long and strong. Torso, head, and hands come up. This is a crescent, it's not a lunge. One more breath. Nice, soft. Hands come down on your exhale. Pick up the back foot, bring it to the front. Come halfway up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, rise all the way up. Exhale, hands come to heart center. Same thing, right leg back, we'll bring in a twist. Inhale, rise up, feel the posture in your body. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway up. Exhale, frame the feet, bring the right foot back, keep that right leg long, bring it all the way up into your crescent. Now bring your hands into a cactus, elbows back as far as they feel comfortable. And then on your next exhale, twist towards the left side of your mat. Just your body, your upper body. Yeah. Can you bring the left shoulder back and the left elbow and the right elbow even further? Back to center. Frame that front foot. Step it back into your plank. With control, bring it all the way down to the floor. Point the toes, push into the feet and the legs. Inhale, cobra. Shoulder blades come in towards one another as you open and widen your collarbones. Exhale, bring it down. Keeping your elbows in towards your ribs, lift it up into your plank. Exhale it into your downward facing dog. Inhaling together. On your exhale, bring the right foot forward. Stay on the toes of the back leg. Left leg up onto your crescent, nice and soft. Shoulders are relaxed. Bring your elbows, arms into goalpost, cactus. On your next exhale, rotate your torso towards the right side of your mat. Trying to maintain that nice, smooth, steady breath. Elbows back. Bring it back to center. Bring your hands to your hips instead this time. Land your back legs to your right into your warrior two legs. Heel to arch alignment. If you feel like that's too big, the stance is too big, bring your legs closer together, or if you have a little more space, open them up. Good. Bring it out into warrior two. So this is a little bit of a twist on the neck because the full posture is with your eyes looking out over that middle finger of the right hand. Come back to your breath. Left hand comes down, right palm comes up. Reverse your warrior. Bring it back down to warrior two. Okay. Bring your right hand in to the inside of the right thigh. Swing that left arm under and reach for extended side stretch. Instead of reaching with that left hand, can you bring the shoulder blade a little bit more into your spine and the shoulder socket into your body, bringing it back in. Good. Bring that back down, using the strength of that back leg, bring your torso up. Lift your right toes, turn them in. Take a deep inhale here. And on your exhale, hinge forward from the hips. Coming as far down as you're going to come, but this time bringing your right hand down in front of your face. And if the floor is too far away, try to grab your block. Place that right in front of your face, right hand on the block or the brick, left hand on your sacrum. Use that to encourage your spine to lengthen. And on your next exhale, from the bottom of your spine, moving up, backbone by backbone, begin to twist your torso to the left side. Your gaze is the last thing that arrives. Try to keep equal weight in both legs. Back to center with the eyes and the spine, bring it back. And then place your left hand on the brick, switching the right hand to the lower spine, lengthen. And then again, from your tailbone, moving all the way up, backbone by backbone, twisting your torso towards the right. Back to center. Bring both hands to your hips, press down through the insides of your legs. Use that to come up. Keep your right toes where they're at. Pick up your left toes and turn them out 90 degrees. Bend your left leg so that your knee is over your ankle. Extend your arms out. Bring your shoulder blades in towards one another, opening your chest. Gaze is out over the middle finger of the left hand. And you can find calmness in your breath. Reverse your warrior. That's it. Bring the right hand down the outside of the right thigh, letting it encourage the lengthening. And then bring it back to warrior two. Bring your left hand into the inside of the left thigh, encouraging an opening. Swing the top arm under and then reach the arm out so that there's a nice long line between your right fingertips and your right baby toes. And then bring the shoulder back into the body. Swing that top arm under. Hands come to your hips. Lengthen the left leg. Keep the right toes out slightly. Bring the right heel in. Sorry. So both of your toes are pointed out from your body. But make sure that your knees are in line with your two middle toes as we begin to bring our bum down towards the floor into our goddess legs. I know it's kind of hard to see on my screen right now. Play around with your lower back, letting it have a nice natural curve in it. So don't drop your tailbone, just let it be where it's at. Pushing into your heels might help. Lift your toes to see how much work they're doing. Let them relax down. All right, now we're going to bring our hands to our knees if they're not already there. Inhale deeply, and on your exhale, bring your right shoulder down towards your left knee. Back to center. Exhale, left shoulder down to right knee. Back to center. Exhale, right shoulder towards left knee. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, left shoulder, right knee. Back to center, and if you've got it, come with me one more time. Right shoulder to left knee. Back to center. Left shoulder to right knee. Back to center. Lengthen the legs. And tap it out. Heel toe yourself back to the center. And we're going to clean our mats off with our feet. We're going to actually take it into a standing figure 4 that Andrea had us do at the beginning. This will be our balance posture. So if you feel like you need a little more assistance, bring yourself near a piece of furniture or a wall. Or come with me and just try. Okay, so we're going to begin on our standing leg, the left leg. Pick up your right knee, bring it to your chest, and then turn it out. And place your ankle along your thigh, wherever it lands. I'm already feeling a little bit wobbly. So I'm going to try and find a spot in front of me, not looking at you. I'll look at the apple on my computer. And then I'm going to, without falling over, I'm going to sit myself down. Okay? Sit yourself down as far as you feel like you can go. You might be able to bring your leg up a little bit closer, feeling something in your hips. And then if you feel like you're pretty low and you've got some space in the back of your body, you can bring your hands down to the floor or to your bricks and begin lengthening that standing leg as you bring your head towards the floor. Now we're going to sit our bum back down. It's total control. Find your spot. Bring your torso up and your knee up. And then slowly let your foot come back down to the floor. Good. Woo. Yeah. All right. In between, before we go to the other side, I want to bring you into Utkatasana. So your feet are hip width apart. Sit your bum back down. Notice how you can activate your core by bringing your belly button in gently towards your spine. You decide what you want your power pose to be like today. Do you want more pressure in your heels, or do you want to bring it forward? All along your feet, you can feel a different sensation in your body as you move your butt back and forward. You decide what feels safest for you. And then bring your hands to your heart. And again, from the bottom of your spine, begin twisting your torso towards the left. Left shoulder comes back. Back to center. And we'll twist from the bottom of our spine, moving up, backbone by backbone. Over to the right. Right shoulder comes back. Back to center. Lengthen your legs. Woo, doggy. Whew. All right. Okay, so let's do our standing figure 4. I know there's a proper name for it, Sanskrit, and I can't think of it for the life of me. So let's do this on the right. I'm going to have a strong standing leg to begin with on the right as I bring my left knee up, turn my left knee out, and place my left ankle somewhere along the spectrum of my thigh, right thigh. Then I'm going to slowly begin bending my right leg, keeping a long back. I'm going to have to use my hands here because my pants are slippery. Yeah. And then you decide how low you can go. Maybe this is enough. You're building super strength in the knee on the right leg. Unless your name is Naomi, you've got a pretty serious hip stretch going on because nothing can access that woman's hips. And then if you're ready, you might be able to come to the floor. I feel less confident on this side, building strength still on my special leg. So I'm going to bring the block in front of my face, bring the floor to me with my block of hope. Letting the top of the head relax down and then slowly lengthening the standing leg as much as I feel is comfortable. To come out of it, I'm going to bend my standing leg ever so slightly. Find my spot. Lengthen my body and then lift my left knee. Woo-hoo! And then slowly bring it down. Ha! I almost made it. Good job. Lots of work being done here. And I've taken up entirely too much time. So I'm going to bring us to the floor. Would you like us on our fronts or our backs, Andrea? Front or back? Back. Oh, sitting. Okay. All right. Let's do that. I'm going to turn it over to her. And I'm just going to, hold on. I'm going to ask you to sit down. You can do it with me. You can squat down if you've got anything left in your legs. Oh, everybody's found their way. They just want to sit down. Fair enough. All right.
Yeah, so just coming to sitting, and let's just finish up with one more seated posture here. You can sit on the edge of the cushion again if you'd like. We're going to work through just a tiny little series here with Janushirshasana. So we're going to leave the right leg extended and bring that left foot in. So the left foot can stay sort of in that diamond shape with some space, or the left foot can come to the thigh or anywhere between there, whatever works for you and your knees. Once you find that space, then finding the center, pushing the sit bones down, inhaling, reaching up, and activating the outstretched leg by pushing the thigh towards the floor. Then looking towards that leg, and then exhaling, reaching the heart forward over that leg. So walking the hands out, keeping the chest open, finding a hollow space in the lower tummy, and then just letting the head release down. Hanging out here for just a moment. And then let's inhale, let's walk back up. We're just gonna bring the torso back to center. Inhaling, reaching up. We're gonna bring that right hand over to the left knee and inhaling, reaching the left arm out to the side. Exhaling now, just reaching that left arm over the top. Reaching, pointing towards the toes. We don't have to go anywhere near there, but just reaching through the fingertips just for a moment. Inhaling, coming back up. Let's reach the left foot out, activating both feet. Inhaling, becoming tall, and just walking the hands to the center, wide-legged forward fold. Just one time, just a few breaths, just feeling where it is, feeling how it feels good after the really great hip work that we just did with DiDi. And then inhaling, walking back up, leaving the left leg outstretched, and then this time bringing the right foot in for Janushirshasana. So any of the versions, open version, closed version, and then finding the center, becoming tall, growing out of the center, looking towards that left leg, and exhaling, walking the heart forward here. So really activating the left outstretched leg by pushing the thigh towards the floor. Bringing the shoulders closer to each other in the back. you're ready, and inhaling, walking back to center. Finding center again, becoming tall. Left hand comes to the right knee. Inhaling, reaching the right arm wide and open out to the right. Exhaling, the right arm up and over and just pointing the fingertips towards the toes. And when that's enough, coming back to center. Releasing the feet now. We're going to bring the feet to the floor. We're going to bring the hands together. Slowly with control, bringing the tummy in. We're going to slowly come down the back. Coming down here. If you'd like, we can bring the bottoms of the feet to touch, letting the knees open, coming to a butterfly pose here for a moment as we begin winding down. You'd like to maybe walk the shoulder blades closer to each other in the back to feel that openness across the top of the chest. You could bring one hand to the lower tummy, one hand to the heart if you'd just like to feel how the breath is traveling again. Just beginning here by closing the eyes, letting the body release. Just enjoying a few moments for yourself after all of the really good work that you've done. When you're ready here, you can stay right here for your Shavasana if you'd like. If you'd like to move on, you could bring the hands down to the legs and just help them close, bringing the knees up and then reaching the feet to the edges of the mat. Letting the feet wide, letting the toes fall out, letting the palms face up to the sky. And just releasing here for a few moments for Shavasana. Letting the breath be free now. And just letting the body take rest. And then as you're ready, Just beginning, coming back to the body, or not. Stay. If you don't have anything to do, you should stay. Or beginning moving softly. And however you'd like to do it, however it feels good to you, beginning waking up, maybe stretching from the feet all the way up to the hands, rolling to one side and coming to have a seat, and we'll close this practice all together. If you'd like to bring your hands together at the heart, then feel free to do that. And just closing the eyes just for one moment. Just integrating this practice, thanking yourself for continuing your yoga practice today. Maybe recalling the intention of what you would like to dedicate your energy to today. And with lots of love, thank you all for coming to join us today. Have a wonderful, wonderful day and a wonderful weekend. Namaste.